Okay, section 9.7 in your textbook is on areas of triangles. So the first thing I want you to be able to do is label the base and the height of a triangle. Let's go talk about that concept first. And I drew several different triangles down there, and we're going to label what is the base and what is the height. The base on the far triangle here that I'm circling, the base is right here. That's the base. To find the height, we always want to go to the opposite vertex, which would be up here, and drop a line that's perpendicular to the base. And that's a very bad straight line. Let's try that again. That would be the height. I'm going to call it H. Everybody with me on that one? Okay, what if we have a right triangle? Again, it's kind of easy to locate the base. There's our base. Now for the height, we go to the opposite vertex and we drop a line straight down that makes a right angle. Oh, look, that's that other leg of the right triangle, right? That is our height. Over here, here's the base. Opposite vertex, drop it straight down. That would be our height. All right, what if you have an obtuse triangle? Obtuse meaning one of the angles is between 90 and 180. Here's the base. Now the opposite vertex is here. If I drop a line straight down that's perpendicular to the base, that's my height. So sometimes you'll see it drawn out there on the outside of the triangle, like that. Remember, to get the height, you have to locate a base and then find the opposite vertex and drop it straight down, drop a perpendicular down to that base. Okay, before we go to concept number 2, y'all do not have this on your paper, so just watch. What was this four-sided figure called that had opposite sides parallel? Do you remember? And you're all both muted, so you can't say it out loud. It was a parallelogram, right? How did we find the area of a parallelogram? We used its base down here, that's our base, times our height. You remember that? Area of a parallelogram was base times height. Nothing new there, right? Okay, what if on this parallelogram I cut it right here? I put a line down there and I cut it. All right, if we cut that parallelogram right in two, let me see if I can do this for you. So we made a line right there. Do you see that I now have two triangles? Two blue triangles that are actually exactly the same. Is that pretty cool? So the area of a triangle is going to be the base times the height, and then you're going to divide it by 2. So here we go. Up here to concept number 2. The area of a triangle. You're going to locate your base and height. You're going to multiply them together, base times height, and then divide that number by 2. That's a pretty important formula. Okay, it was asked, why do you have to divide by 2? Let's go back down to what I had here. And I started out with a parallelogram, right? And the area of that parallelogram was just base times height, that blue parallelogram. Base times height. That was old stuff. We'd already learned that. But a triangle is half of a parallelogram. So if we cut that parallelogram in half and we rotated that triangle, we could put it on top of the other triangle. So the area of this triangle is going to be 1/2 of that base times height. You divide by 2 because there's 2 triangles. Now let's go look at some examples. Find the area of the triangle. Anytime you're finding area, do you remember what the unit's supposed to be? It's going to be square units. So the area of a triangle of number 1 is going to be in square inches. Okay, here we go. The base is what? 3. And what is the height? The height is going to be 6. So the area, you're going to do base times the height and then divide that by 2. What is 6 times 3? 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Now the units, you're going to have 9 square inches, and we write that inches with a superscript of a 2. 9 square inches. Go do number 2. We've got to locate the measurements first. What is the base? This triangle is kind of upside down, right? So here's the base, 12.1. For the height, we locate the other vertex, drop a line straight down to the base, perpendicular to the base. That's our height. So our formula says do base, 12.1, times the height, 6.4, and then divide that number by 2. All right, let's go do 12.1 times 6.4. 12.1 times 6.4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 0 placeholder. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 4. 8 plus 6 is 14. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. How many decimal places do we need? 2. Move the decimal over 2 places. So my area is 77.44 divided by 2. We're not done yet. So I'm going to go do 77.44 divided by 2. Bring the decimal place straight up. Okay, 2 goes into 7 3 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Go do your subtraction. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down the 7. 2 goes into 17. 8 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Do your subtraction. Bring down your 4. 2 goes into 14 7 times. 2 times 7 is 14. Do your subtraction. 0. Bring down your 4. One more time. 2 times 2 is 4. Do your subtraction. You're finished. So your answer will be 38.72. What's your unit? Square meters. Okay, number 3. Identify the base and the height. Here's the base, 9 3/4 feet. Now, all the other times we've seen the height labeled right here inside the triangle. You can also label it this way. You see that the 7 here would be the same distance as the 7 here. All right, area of a triangle. Base times the height divided by 2. Can we have mixed numbers in there? And the answer is no. So what is this base as an improper fraction? How many fourths? 4 times 9 is 36. 36 plus 3 is 39. So the base is going to be 39 fourths times the height, which is 7, and we want to divide that by 2. All right, up top, that's 7 over 1, yes? So let's go do the multiplication here in the numerator first. When we're multiplying fractions, we multiply the numerator, we multiply the denominator. What is 39 times 7? 7 times 9 is 63. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 6 is 27. So we have 273 over 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, watch. I want that number, so this number, divided by what? 2? And when we have fractions and we've got division going on, we multiply by the reciprocal of the second one. So we're going to write 273 over 4 times, what's the reciprocal of 2 over 1? Yep, 1 over 2, good. So instead of dividing by 2, we said times 1/2. Now we've got multiplication going on again. We need to multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator. So I get 273 over 8. What's my unit going to be? Square feet. For these next few examples, I'm going to give you the area of the triangle, and I want you to determine the missing dimension. If the area is 24 square centimeters, and this dimension is 6 centimeters, find this dimension. So I'm going to go locate the base and the height. Here's the base. Here's the height. My formula says area equals base times height divided by 2, right? Okay, what do I know? Let's plug in what I know. The area is 24 equals, do I know the base? I don't know the base, so let's let that be just B, times, what's the height? 6 all over 2. Could we simplify this right-hand side first? What's 6 divided by 2? 3. So let's write that as 24 equals B times 3. Now go do your railroad tracks and solve for B. To get B by itself on the right, I need to divide both sides by 3. (24) divided by 3 is 8, and that's going to equal B. So the missing dimension is going to be 8 centimeters. That's my missing dimension. For number 5, if the area is 21 square inches, find the missing dimension. This is your base, which is 6 inches. It's wanting you to find the height. So I'm going to start with my formula for the area of a triangle. Area equals base times height over 2. I know that my area is 21 square inches. I know that my base is 6 inches. I don't know my height. And then I want to say divided by 2. Now on the right-hand side, again, I can divide those numbers. 6 divided by 2. So I get 21 equals 3 times h. Go do your railroad tracks. If I want to get the h by itself on the right-hand side, I need to divide both sides by 3. (21) divided by 3 is 7. The 3's are going to cancel on the right-hand side, and I'm left with just h. So my missing dimension, my height, is equal to 7 inches. That's my answer. Last one. If I give you the area is 1,494 square feet, and you know that the base is 41.5 feet, can you find the height? Start out with your formula. A equals base times height divided by 2. Your area, 1,494, equals, okay, what is your base as an improper fraction? How many halves? 41 times 2 is 82, plus 1 is 83. So I did 2 times 41 is 82, and then plus 1 is 83. So I have 83 halves times my h all over 2. Okay, let's go do this division. 3 halves divided by 2. I want 83 halves divided by 2. How do you divide fractions? You have to multiply by the reciprocal. 83 halves times 1/2. So I get 1,494 equals, what is this? Do you see that it's going to be 83 over 4 times h. All right, we are almost finished. We've got to solve for h. So do your railroad tracks. Right now I'm multiplying h by 83/4. So I need to divide both sides by 83/4. So h will equal, yuck, I want 1,494 divided by 83/4. So that's going to be 1,494 times 4 over 83. Okay, so I'm going to open up my calculator because that's a huge number. Let me go open up my calculator. I'm going to do 1,494 times 4. I could do that by hand if I wanted to. What was that number? 5976 over, so I did this multiplication. 1 times 83 is 83. So now I want to do 5,976 divided by 83. 5,976 divided by 83 is 72. So H is equal to 72. Am I finished? Nope, I have to put the units. My height is 72 what? Feet. Remember, if you're solving for a dimension, the unit is just feet or just centimeters or just inches. When you're solving for the area, your unit is going to be square feet or square centimeters or square inches.